Oh, all right. So, Rational Mind, it's good to have you here. So, like as I was explaining, I'm experimenting with these standalone videos. We just one invited guest to come and speak on on Nigerian related topics, like we usually do on our live stream. But this one more like by private invitation only. So you are the first guest, sort of, on this sort of concept. What do you make of it? What do you make of the idea?
Thank you, Woman, for having me. Yeah, so I think it's a pleasure to be here to be one of those people that would start off this part of your broadcasting. Yeah, so I think it's okay. I'm okay. I'm free to go. You can ask me any question you want to ask me about
All
Nigeria.
right, we're going to kick it off with this. This is essentially about this photograph. It was put out by Reno Mockery, but it's a photograph in circulation anyway. As you can see, this is unmistakable faces of Obasanjo and Tinubu. But let me read out what Reno is saying, and then I'll invite your thoughts. It says, these two men have either been president since 1999 or almost single handedly made others president. President Obasanjo was president between 1999 and 2007 and was majorly responsible for the emergence of President Yadua and Jonathan. Tinubu was instrumental in putting Buhari in Aso Rock. Now he is president. So he then goes on to do some Yoruba something or the other because he usually does these things to poke really at the Southeasterners. But what are you making of this picture? They say a picture tells a thousand tales, and all throughout the history of Nigeria, the relationship between Tinubu and Obasanjo has somewhat been antagonistic. So invitations then because somebody was asking, what do you think is going through the mind of these two people as they meet for the first time, by the way, since the election?
Yeah, Woman. Thank you for having me once again. Yeah, I think for me, I think I've listened to so many other people who have commented on this picture on Arise and other media platforms in Nigeria. Um, so sometimes, at the beginning when we started this, when I joined your broadcasting coming in program, I used to do like I read people's body language. When we talk about Bubu, then we look at his body language and how he, I mean, his body language towards the happenings in Nigeria, and then I just had to draw my inference from that. You see, this time around, the table has turned. I remember 20 something years ago, it was Obasanjo who was the president. And we know Tinubu's posture towards Obasanjo and Obasanjo's posture towards Tinubu. And seeing this picture, you kind of ask questions. What what has improved? What has um, what has really brought about this rapprochement, as they'll say, between these two people? I don't think there's anything much to say on that. I know where Obasanjo leans when it comes to his own political ideology and where Tinubu leans. They are both cat and mouse when it comes to that. For me, I look at this picture as not really telling much, rather than it's just photo for the optics. Some people have commented that it's just a smirk. If you look at Obasanjo, some people say it's a smile, and you can see the facade that both of them they put up there, like everything is okay with them. We know the last election, we knew who Obasanjo supported. He supported Obi. He was routing for him. Most comments that public comments he made was geared towards Obi, uh, rallying up support for him. So what has suddenly changed now that I understand that he was invited to the inauguration of second time inauguration of the idiots in Imo State, the hopeless idiot there who go by the name Hope, but the people of Imo State, all they've known ever since this idiot has been there is there's been violence, very, very, very a violence that at a proportion, at a scale that that state has never known in the history of that state. And we know how he got there this last term, how he had to, all opposition, he had to silence them, he had to use the military might and all of that. So, but let's just leave that. So, but then, Obasanjo being the kind of person he is, he would honor you if he sees, if in his own head, his head tells him to do it. You know, one thing about Obasanjo is that he's this kind of person, he kind of plays some kind of politics that are so ridiculous sometimes. But you can't fault him for that because I think he sees things the way he sees it. So, and I won't much really fault him.
Do you think there's an element of surrender to that you describe it as a smirk? Do you think there's an element of surrender that you, this rascally guy, you got it eventually? Is there there's somewhat like a grudging sort of admiration that well, you got it and nobody could stop you?
Element of surrender. So Obasanjo just surrender for who? Obasanjo, I mean, Ebora who? I mean, we know him. He has this pride.
Do you think Obasanjo is happy that Tinubu is president? Do you think
I don't think so. I don't think
he's pleased with it?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I do not think so. I don't know if you heard about what happened. I'm still trying to develop on this this picture because that's what we're talking about. There are events, there are happenings that took place after or during after this photo shoot that they had here. There was another happenings that happened when he was making comments. When he was giving his speech at the inauguration of Tinubu was giving his speech, it was said that Obasanjo walked out at some point when he was giving his, was just going ranting. And you see, I've been even looking maybe for some days ago, maybe I would have joined you guys. There was some an article I read in the Nation 3 days ago. I was like, and funny enough, what was said in that article of that Nation was what this guy called Tinubu repeated during that inauguration. And I was like, oh, man, I mean, I'm not so surprised because I think he owns the Nation. So those people who wrote the article, they must have been people who are who are part of the inner circle of Tinubu. So, you know, one thing they do is that they just test their propaganda out there just to see how it's going to fly. And I see him repeating that same propaganda. But let me just go to this same picture we're talking about. So there was an event when he was giving that speech. Obasanjo walked out. Obasanjo walked out, and even himself said it. Baba Odabo, something like that. Baba yo, something like that. Is it Baba bye bye or something like that? Or see you later or something like that. I mean, I kind of president. I'm like, you need to watch that video. I mean, I've seen people sometimes. I've seen that video somewhere where I watched it. When he was giving a speech and Obasanjo was walking out, Tinubu was saying Baba Odabo. I mean, maybe like Odabo, Baba yo, something like that. I was like, whoa. Obasanjo walked out of it because when he was making that towards that time when he was making the comment of Nigerian schools be supplying the world intellectual people who are skilled. Oh my goodness, these are very criminal leaders that we're having. I mean, I'm yet to even go to that article that I said I read. Woman, you see, let me just go. Because I digress a lot because I have a lot of things to say. If you allow me to say, I have a lot. But let me just go stay on this video, on this picture you just asked me about. So for me, I see this picture as not saying much, but rather than for me, I believe Obasanjo and his propaganda. Obasanjo, Tinubu and his propaganda machine. I know I've said it on your when we're live on when we're always. I mean, when we're live, sometimes I'm gonna have to make comments on Tinubu and his propaganda machines and everything. I tell you that, you see, these people are looking for validation in any way they can get it. If suddenly Peter Obi just say something about Tinubu today that is good, they will just everybody will just pounce on it. Like, oh, you see, even himself is already coming to terms now and realize that Tinubu is doing well. You see, I've never seen this level of looking for a validation in any way and any manner. It's so ridiculous and it's so. I mean, I just don't know how to qualify it sometimes. I mean, that's why I sometimes just look at it and say, I mean, this is just how they kind of browbeat our people's psyche. They just surrender to this idiot clown in the Asura. I mean, I mean, imposter of a human
do
being.
you think Tinubu do you
Yeah,
think he feels a sense of victory over Obasanjo,
there is
especially?
no sense of victory here,
Because
woman.
he seems somewhat looking down on him with authority.
Yeah, that is
Just from that
yeah,
picture.
yeah. I see that. I'm really here to just come to that. I will come to that. I will come to, but I can see that too. Look at the handshake. Obasanjo is shaking him with two hands, and it's the other way around. If you look at when he went to see
Yeah,
Obasanjo,
but that's surrender right there, isn't it?
hold
That's
on
surrender.
now.
And Obasanjo's head is slightly bowed as well. So he's in a total state of surrender. And
Well,
Tinubu is upright, one hand,
yeah, I can
looking
see.
down at
I
him
can
with
see.
authority.
I can see. But what you know about Obasanjo is that he's this kind of guy ever since he has left. Apart from that infamous speech he made towards those of us, we've seen that even he would prostrate for people who are even when you back people call Omo Inue, that is somebody that is up to be his, even his grandchild or be his child. He will prostrate to them. If they are kings, if they are like even like governors, there's a way he will shake them sometimes. He would like just to show out like I respect you, you are the governor, whatever. I mean, Obasanjo is known to do that. For that famous speech and some of ridiculous things that he has done lately in the past. He's that kind of person that he would give you your respect. But yes, you can say that what you just said now, that looking at that picture, Tinubu was upright. And I mean, during the electionary campaign, when he went to see him in at Beokuta, Tinubu was prostrating for him. At that time, we know at that time he was a candidate. He was not President Tinubu then. He was just candidate who was looking to become the president. He was the one doing. It was even. I mean, who did I see him? He was prosecuted for, maybe he was in Bubu too, or something like that. I don't know. Somebody he was prosecuted for that person too. So Obasanjo is known to be this kind of person who does things that you cannot even imagine. Sometimes you're surprised at, whoa, Obasanjo that we know that is very cocky, and now he's just like bringing himself that maybe as person age, as he's becoming old. I mean, during the Oputa panel, we know how he was so cocky during the whole proceeding and all everything. I mean, sometimes you wonder, is this Obasanjo? What has gotten into his head? I mean, but then I think when person gets old, sometimes comes to realize when you do some self introspection, you find out that sometimes you just have to like bring yourself low. Maybe that's what he's doing. But for me, yeah, I give it to you. I mean, I agree with you on what you said. But I will say Obasanjo is surrendering. It's just how he does his thing. He will give you your respect. But Tinubu there, you can see him.
Has it struck you, rational mind, that
Yeah,
Obasanjo has not been critical of the Tinubu administration?
see,
Usually, very quickly, he's very quick to criticize any administration with his usual open letter, but it's been radio silence. It's going on 8 months now, and a lot of things have happened, but we've not heard from Baba Yabo.
yeah, well, we can say he has not criticized. Yes, you're right. He has not criticized like his usual character for him to always do that. But even if he has to criticize, he doesn't criticize that too early. Even like when Bubu was failing at the first 2 years, he did not criticize him. So after the first 2 years, if I remember very well, that was when he started writing those letters and started criticizing him. So like the Nobel laureates, whom I used to respect, I no longer gave him any regard anymore. Only showing Inca, like he said, I'm not saying that he's not. I've said it many times. It's not the metrics for um, uh, to determine who is a critic. I don't see him anymore as a critic. He has lost that for me. I don't see him. So, but like he said, which I want to agree with him that okay, maybe it's too early for us to criticize. Maybe after 1 year we'll see. But you see, this 1 year thing we usually give to these people. It's not going to work because Bubu, we know how why he wasted 8 months before he could get himself. Even after he got himself, the whole thing was already the armor was already done. He could not even get the whole thing back. He could not even steer the ship back to normal. Everything just derailed, and that was how he failed. Apart from maybe himself being somebody who is just who doesn't have any solution, who doesn't have anything, they just cook up that manifesto for him. Let's just not go there. But what I'm just trying to say is this, woman, is that um, Obasanjo, I don't think this is an element of surrendering. And that the fact that he has not criticized him so far does not mean he's not going to criticize him. I know Obasanjo when he sees it fit, except maybe, yeah, like you're saying, if he doesn't do it at all, and this guy handed this whole thing the way we've seen so far, the way he's just leading that country into the abyss, um, pushing that country into hell. I mean, I just hope we don't. If he doesn't do that, then maybe I will say, yeah, maybe that's an element of surrendering. That okay, maybe Tinubu has some dirt on him on whoever administration or whatever. I don't know. Because some of these people, sometimes they have to tread with caution too, so that they don't get, because Tinubu can still arrest anybody. If he wants to arrest Bubu, he will arrest Bubu. It doesn't take him anything. He's the president. But it's like, do me, I do you, like tit for tat. As long as you do not do it to me, I won't do it to you too. Maybe that's what it is. So if he does not criticize him and all this crap that we're seeing going on in Nigeria, then I would come to concur with you on what you just said a little while ago, that he surrendered. But for me, I don't think it's a surrender for now. Like Nobel Lawrence said, maybe it's too early for anybody to criticize him for now. Maybe that's why he is holding back. But I know Eboro Ruas, like I know him, he will come and criticize him when he sees it fits. So for me, woman, this picture, I don't think it says much than I'm just going by the antecedent, what I have known about the politics of Nigeria. I don't know if you watched even the eulogizing of this idiot from Daura. They launched a book. This idiot, this Femi Adesina, the guy who was just
Yeah,
eulogizing.
no, I'm taking you to that one in the next
So,
phase. Yeah,
woman,
so that, yeah.
woman. In conclusion on this topic, you see, Nigeria has become a
What are
circus.
you making of the spate of pieing? You know what they call pie?
I know, I got you, I got you.
What are you making of the spate of pieing that is going on at the moment, and just the heavy kidnapping that is going on, especially highlighting that northern family? What because in a previous stream I was suggesting that the northerners are launching insurgency to try and undermine the Tinubu administration. We saw that with Goodluck Jonathan, and we're seeing it almost now repeating. Because of course we've always had insecurity, but there seemed to be a spike up in incidents being reported. So what are you then making then of the pines and just the industrial scale kidnapping that is going on in Nigeria at the moment?
Woman, when you brought this topic, I mean, I wasn't there that very day when you started. I think after it's later day when I came up and I was like making a comment on one of this comment I was making, and I went off tangent and I was criticizing yourself on the way I talk about this validation that Tinubu and all his minions they sought everywhere. I don't know, maybe whoever gave you that topic, woman, or wherever you saw it, maybe one of those dailies that are also pandering to Tinubu and his crap, and they want to like make it look like it's like I agree with you that invariably, if they frustrate Nigerians, if they are doing all these things to Nigerians, then it is to Tinubu's administration because he is the head of the government. Well, I understand that point, but the thing is, you see, everything have to be about Tinubu every time about. I mean, that headline should have been, they are trying to frustrate Nigerians. Invariably, we know if they are frustrating Nigerians, they are frustrating Nigerians. I mean, they are killing Nigerians or they are trying to derail Nigerians. Then it means Tinubu is being derailed. But everything has to be Tinubu. It irritates me. That's what I was about commenting on earlier. When I wanted to say to you, I said, look, woman, Nigerians, the psyche of the Nigerian people is so bastardized that they pedestalize people. I've always said that on this platform that I'm not the kind of person who love to pedestalize person. I'll give it to you if I have to give it to you. I will tell you my truth and I will give you, and if I have to offend you, I will offend you. Man, but though I try to avoid needlessly offending people, so maybe I just want to be some kind of an ass in some ways. But what I would say is that the way this Tinubu thing has, it started with Bubu. I know APC thing. I mean, I've never seen this kind of level of sycophancy in the history of that country like that of Bubu, and now even worse under this guy that is in Nassau Rock now, which is Tinubu. I've never seen it as worse under anybody as Tinubu. Well, even thinking maybe Bubu's own was like, oh my goodness, this northern Rakadede. I thought I've seen the worst. But under this Tinubu, oh my. So I think it's an APC thing. APC, I mean, I don't needless to say this Muslim thing. I mean, I don't know, I don't want to offend people, but I just see it that way. Because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the idiots Christians too are not doing it too. I mean, after all, some of the people who are also chanting on your papas or your mandates with your sons, sit down, whatever. I mean, they are all the same. They are all both Muslim and Christians. So for me, it's just irritating that some few days ago, I was listening to this hopeless guy from Imo State there when he was saying that when he went to Aso Rock, they were saying with the governor, I think the APC governors, they went to see Tinubu, I think on this issue of better Edu and all of those crap going on in the government. and I don't know, maybe it was APC governors and the president on the security issue and whatever corruption going on. So he said something. He has to tell you that, oh my, when I heard that comment, I said Nigeria is God. I mean, I've always known Nigeria is God, but I just make up my mind. You see, I was proved right that when I said Nigeria is God, Nigeria is God. He made a comment. What was that comment? He said, when he said all that crap, he said, in the wisdom of the president, we cannot question his wisdom. When I heard that word, question what? You cannot question the wisdom of who is Tinubu? You can't question his wisdom. Oh my goodness. A fallible human being, even like a senile man like that, who is so senile looking, even if he can't even make coherent speech. He has to talk crap. Like, I don't know if you listen to that video, his what's it called? His speech at that inauguration of Zodima. Oh my goodness. That is just the pattern of what we see with him over time, even during the campaign. So, but what I'm trying to say is that when he said we cannot question the wisdom of the president. Oh my goodness. And I was having a conversation with a friend recently on that. And he was saying to me that,
So sorry, who said that? Who said you cannot question the?
Go to that.
Yeah, but he's a sycophant now. Let me see if I can pick that
I'm
up.
just saying that. Yeah, I mean, he's just one of those sycophants that we have around Tinubu, who always eulogize this guy, make this guy look like he's a godlike person. That is why they all see themselves. That's why these idiots from Daura and himself now, the one that is there now, they all see themselves like a demigod or like some kind of godlike person that you cannot. I mean, that's why some people come on your platforms and they say all kinds of crap. I just look at them. She already want the music ballet. She want to coin lock. I mean, kini Tinubu te fun abi o te lo sosorobia that don't know eyonu kote gbogbo yin te ba wala. Whenever you're around him, I'm not that kind of person. I will give it to you. I mean, that is why people, when you so much, we see all this with the pattern what will happen in the Nazi, among the Nazis, and then the Mussolini and all of that. How they eulogize somebody, they make somebody a godlike person and become a dictator. That is where we're going with all this crap, and people don't see it that way. And it's so sad that people don't even look at history and make sense with history. History has a way of repeating itself. When when you pedestalize this man, you're making this man like you cannot even question him. You cannot even tell him the truth when he's going wrong. So, you see, in conclusion on this, what you just asked me, for me, I don't see Obasanjo surrendering in that picture. I don't see that. For me, this whole thing with Tinubu and people singing his praise and all of that, for me, I just think is we're taking things too far. We worship personalities. We don't worship ideas. We don't worship. I mean, I'm not saying you should worship ideas. We don't talk about ideas, but it's all about personality. Let me leave it at that one, man. Maybe I digress.
All right. I don't want the videos to be more than half an hour, so
Okay.
I'm going to pause this one and then we'll start on a different topic. Then pause. All right. So let me take you to this next topic, rational mind. This is an ongoing story, of course, the narrative of Tunji Ojo, which started as a bit of a little thing, but is cascading now into something else. Alleged 438 million naira contract fraud. Tunji Ojo fails to show up at CCB. So I did something earlier speaking to the fact that the CCB and not the EFCC actually invited him. So let me actually read this out. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo reportedly failed to show up at the Code of Conduct Bureau (CCB) headquarters in Abuja today, January the 16th, to answer questions linked to an investigation on the alleged involvement of a company linked to him in a 438 million naira contract awarded by the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry. The CCB had written to the minister demanding he showed up for questioning. So it says the letter signed by the blah blah blah. Let me just give you the bureau is investigating a case of alleged breach of code of conduct for public officers in which your name featured prominently. Consequently, You are invited to an interview scheduled as follows. Date, Tuesday the 16th January 2024. Time, venue, etc. This invitation is in pursuant to the mandate and powers of the Bureau as enshrined in the third schedule. And then it goes on to quote the relevant legal backings that facilitates for that invitation being sent. But Rational Mind, the thing is, firstly, do you think this matter is a code of conduct matter or an EFCC matter? So let's start it off from there.
I'm not that too. I think I've listened to. There was this guy that was interviewed on Arise recently. He's a lawyer. I think he commented on that. I think he said that when he was making a comment on that, I just want to go by his comment because I listen to people like that and just to like draw my own inference on that. But at the same time, I think code of CB, code of public, is it CPB, Abi? Code of Public Bureau, Abi? Is that how it is?
No, CCB, Code of Conduct Bureau.
Okay, code of conduct. So that agency is responsible for what's it called? Enforcing whatever civil service.
Conduct of public officers.
Yeah, public officials. So yeah, so I would say it's not out of place for them. That's what the guy said when they said it was said that he will be appearing before them. So they said there's no problem with that. You just have to go and just clear himself. That's if he's found wanting, whatever. So, but that EFCC2 can come in. I think EFCC2 can come in, but it will be a clash. You know, we'll be saying something in that country that anything that has to do with clash, or like the other time when Nigerian Prison Service had this former CBN, and I think a judge made a pronouncement that maybe they should send it to Kuje. And right there, DSS were like hounding and harassing. In fact, they even fought them. Even, I mean, there was a video where they were even beating, pushing and shoving, and the officer, the high-ranking officer there that came to collect MFLA. That's to tell you. And we've seen even clash between EFCC and DSS too. In Lagos, when they went to Lagos to ransack Lagos was EFCC the office in Ikoyi. You see, we need to understand whose right is it. But I think CBP, I keep saying CBP, the American Customs and Border Protection. It's this code of public whatever in Nigeria.
Code of Conduct Bureau.
Code of Conduct, CCP. CCP, right. So I think it's within their purview to call him. If EFCC has to arrest him after then, I think no problem. But I think it's within their purview because since they regulate the conduct of public officials, and this guy Olubunmi Ojo is a public official, although he's a minister serving at the pleasure of the president. So what I would say is that it's not out of place for them to call him and make whatever inquiry and their own findings and maybe submit it to whoever that needs to have it enforced, or if it's going to be then they're going to enforce it. So be it then too. So for me, I don't think it's out of place. I think it's within their power because as you had lawyers argue that it's within their power. So I think maybe it's after when they find out and then there's substance to whatever allegation against the guy. I think that is when I think EFCC will have to come in. But I don't think they have any enforcing rights. Maybe they can only make suggestion to the president that okay, we find these are our findings that this guy is guilty of this. It's up to you. I don't think I can just go and snap him.
I'm with you somewhat, a Rational Mind, because what is being established is more like sharp practice than an illegal act. So what seems to be the case is that he obtained this contract through influence. So now, did he execute the contract? So that's the one question. And then was the contract inflated or not? That's the second question. So if those two are established to be true, that he did execute the contract and the contract was not inflated, then it removes it from a criminal matter. So it now places it squarely and firmly with the conduct of public officer matter. And that is the remit of the CCB. So it is more of a CCB matter, isn't it really? But then, of course, if they establish wrongdoing, then the FCC comes in.
Yeah, so I think the economic aspect of it, because if they are defrauding Nigerians, the Nigerian people, taxpayers, that's where I think EFCC should come in. I think, like you said, like you rightly put it, just to see the conduct of this minister. Did you influence this? Did you use your influence as that's a conflict of interest because you're in the government and you're trying to get contract from the government for your company, which your wife or which you yourself has your name still there as part of the directors? Did you influence it? So that would be conflict of interest, which I think they usually cite some paragraph within the um, Civil Service Act or Public Act, whatever they call it, just to justify or just to prove that as a public official, you cannot have conflict of interest where you are in office using your influence to get contract for yourself or for your cronies. Well, no, we don't. They don't really ever influence that. So I mean, enforce that. So my point is that they will investigate that. But I think, like you said, I don't know if that's what you said, but I think that's what I heard. The area of did you inflate the figure? Did you execute this thing that you were paid for? And I think that is where EFCC should come in. So conduct is just what CCB will investigate at least. I don't know much about their, but the word conduct was invariably mean their conduct within while employed, while working. Do they violate any of those rules of the conduct, whatever? I don't know. So we should just have to see. I don't know. I don't know much to be able to say much because these things come under the purview of people who know laws, who have read laws, who
Rashida Bai, let's go to the reasons why he did not turn up. Because from the headline, of course, they
okay.
said he said that Tunji Ojo fails to show up. So from that, if you just go from the resonance of that, you think he snubbed the invitation. But it goes on to say, it says correspondents reported that the minister who failed to appear before the CCB had written the bureau requesting another date. He stated that he had a prior formal obligation he needed to attend. So the invitation came suddenly, and it is short noticed as well. A busy minister, of course, he already has a full diary. So is it unreasonable? Is it suspicious even that he will write to request another date, or do you think he's buying himself time to try and tidy up?
Oh well, it's nothing can be ruled out from all that option you just gave. Buying time, trying to like avoid being I don't know whatever it is. But obviously there is apparently like you just read if that's what happened from the reporting, then it will mean that maybe he's trying to buy himself time or maybe he has because I don't know if you've seen flying on online now. There is this you see woman. I said it on your platform. You see, when I speak of Tinubu and his minions and all his criminals, the way I speak, not as if I hate. I've said I don't hate the guy. I just hate his style of governance, his style of leadership. You know, um, this guy we're talking about in the normal sense society, he will be placed on suspension because you cannot be a judge in your own case because he's still there in the office there. He can manipulate whatever he wants to manipulate. He can manipulate figures. He can rewrite things. He can make so step aside. If after the findings we find out that you've been cleared that nothing of anything of any sort that was brought against you, what it is, yeah, go on. We'll reinstate you back. But that I don't know if you've seen. I don't know how true that document is. The office of the chief of staff to the president was said to have the same beta edu that we're talking about that was involved in this whole crap that was the same guy we're talking about. The office of the chief of staff of the president was issuing order. In fact, was even releasing money to the humanitarian. I don't know if you see that. Have you seen that document? It was releasing money to the what's it called? To better edu to the ministry.
Yes, but there's nothing untowards there now. There's no suggestion of wrongdoing there.
Hold on,
Um,
hold on.
they released money from the palliative pot in order for them to work on the social register. Because of course the governors had rejected the social register done under the Buhari administration. So they are trying to sort of walk around creating a new social register. And that was what that sign-off was for.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. You see, one man, you see, APC, the demonic party, I'll call them, they have, I mean, not you, one man, not you, because I know you and I, we only go by what we read. But I'm this kind of person that do critical thinking. And my reason of criticizing things is just so that I know if I'm not missing out some information or missing out some things that I should have critically looked at. I don't know anywhere in the world where they have the office of the chief of staff issuing out directive to departments, to ministers, to secretaries. The letter on will be the president, office of the president, not office of the chief of staff. You see, this was the same issue we had with the
idiot. But the office of the chief of staff falls under the broader office of the president.
No, it does not. It does not. That's you see, that is where we're getting this wrong. You see, as time goes on, we're going to find out what is going on, because I've been hearing stories about Wadabi Amila himself being involved in some of these shenanigans. So many things that Tinubu does not even know. That these people, okay, let me give you an example. Before that was there a while ago, it was said that there were so many things that, okay, look at it now. Look at this guy is in EFCC net, or maybe he's in Kujano, where it is now. What's his name? Former CBN governor. It was said that some of the things that he did, Buhari does not know about it. That's what they told us. He doesn't know about it. So who were the people doing it? They were manipulating. They just caged this guy, fed him whatever they need to feed him, and go around and just use his signature or whatever they do and say it is a precedent. What we should be seeing is office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not office of the Chief of Staff. Oh man, you see, we need to understand something very well. We see, we've lost it in that country. We've lost what the essence of nationhood, how to run a country, whose right it is to do certain things. We do not know it anymore. That's why we give out.
Let me bring you a couple of paragraphs just on that space. It says, Nigerians demand probe of Tinubu's chief of staff, Wadabi Amila, over alleged 3 billion naira social register fraud. So let me just, it says, correspondents on Monday reported how a memo issued by Wadabi Amila revealed that President Bola Tinubu approved the release of 3 billion naira to verify the National Social Register under the former administration of Muhammadu Buhari for the suspended humanitarian and disaster management minister Betta Edu. The social register was created for cash transfers and other social investment programs. So, where is the wrongdoing? Is what I'm saying. This is one of the complaints on Twitter. Twitter user Paul Smith Obasi said it was wrong for the country's political leaders to continue to preach to citizens to sacrifice whilst they keep stealing from the pub. So where is the what criminal activity has taken place here, or what untoward behavior?
Woman. Things like, I don't know if you understand what I said. You understood what I said when I said this. The letter heading should say office of the president. We did not, hold on. We know, you see, woman, I don't know why, I don't know how we spin things in that. Sorry. You see.
But is it the president has approved?
No. The president, that's the point. That's the point. How do we know the president has approved it? It is the seal of the office of the president that carries that weight. That shows that the president.
Which seal?
No, it is not, woman. I will not take that. I'm not going to take that.
No, I'm asking you. Okay. Wadabi Amila is the chief of staff.
I know. We know that.
So he is part of is a senior and key member of the presidency.
Woman.
You know, there is the president as an individual, and then there's the presidency as a body.
But hold on.
So he has the authority to act on behalf of
No,
the
he does not
president.
have the authority. No, he does not. He does not. I will argue that point. Even if I have anybody here apart from you, I will argue that point with that person. You see, one man, the president has his own seal with the letter, with letter-headed sheet or whatever that has office of the president, not office of the chief of staff to the president. No, it should read office of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, directive, so and so give. But Mina is telling us these things. You see, this is the same issue we had with this idiot that was in CBN. He said, Bubu gave me the directive. But where is the evidence? They said there's no evidence that Bubu. That was why they said they could not nail the Bubu. That was why he's now facing the whole music himself. Because maybe Bubu told him in word, and he went to. But why don't you have an evidence of a writing by the president that says, "I'm giving you this directive. Take so amount of money, give so and so person." At least you have evidence for that. But word of mouth, we cannot prove it. So how do we know if it's the president that said to Gbajabiamila, go and give this money or write these things? No. The president should be using his own letter-headed letter to be writing all this. This is official stuff. It is you, the president, that should be giving the orders, not whoever you appoint. In matters like this. But we can spin it. Oh, it works with the president. It's in the office of the president. No. The president has his own letter-headed letter, where you can say, office of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So what wrongdoing are you identifying? So
my point is that there's a lot of shenanigans going on in that place. You see, this is the same template they'll be playing in Lagos.
Are you saying that they didn't follow due process, or are you saying a fraudulent act has taken place?
This is a fraudulent act. And anything that is fraudulent, there must be no due process followed in this matter. The due process should be the president's letter-headed, should be saying that office of the president of the, and if it's office of the vice president of Nigeria, we know that it's office of the vice president of Nigeria, but it's not office of the chief of staff, because chief of staff was not elected. He's just an appointed person. And in matters like this, when it comes to disbursement of money from the treasury of Nigeria, taxpayers' money, it should be coming directly from the president. You see, some people will argue the point that, okay, these people, just like we say about Bubu. Bubu is learning on his job because, he was a president, he was a military president, he did a lot of errors, maybe he's trying to correct himself now, he's trying to learn. We can say that. A lot of them, first few years or first 1 year or 2 years, they'll be doing trial and error. They'll be making a lot of blunder, like we've seen so many blunder with this one that is in Aso Rock. So many crap he says from his mouth that's not be saying that they will be giving the whole. That was why Baba Yaba had to walk out on him. How can you, a patriot, who should be number one patriot of Nigeria, should be saying that?
Are you sure that Obasanjo walked out on him, or Obasanjo had to leave? Obasanjo is a 90-year-old man. I don't think he has.
This is what we're going to hear from the Agbado people again. It did not work out. Obasanjo is just 90 years old man. Sherry, one man, Sherry, forget it. I mean, let me not see. We know we can spin anything the way we want to spin it, but you see, one man. You see, you can read things from what happens. I mean, I don't know how to say this. It's the way they say it in Yoruba. If something happens and something follows after it, it tells you that there could have been, there's a link to that previous event that followed, the event that followed later. You see, how can a lot of people like myself who look at critically. Some people were saying about it this morning. What are his speech writers doing? Why can't they tell this man to always stay on script? I don't know, maybe right writing is part of his script. This is the same blunder he made when he was giving it during his inauguration, when he was saying that subsidy is gone. And they said it was not part of the speech they gave to him. So why must he digress? Whenever he digresses, that is when this guy starts blundering, saying crap for his mouth. So my point is this, one man, is that talking about this letter that was purported to be coming out from the office of the chief of staff of the president, it should not be office of the. We did not elect the chief of staff of to the president. We elected the president. But then you see some people make that argument. Oh, they are still learning now. It's very soon they will get it right. Oh God, that is when you put imposters. You put people that are not. I don't know. Maybe this guy would have done better job than Bajabi and Miller. That's Fashola. Fashola is a well disciplined guy who follows the law. But as far as I know back then, I know he has his own shenanigans too, but at least when it comes to
Do,
matters,
do you think people are looking to bring down the Tinubu administration? Because of course, it's impossible for there not to be wrongdoing in an administration, but how the administration then responds to that is the key thing. So now we've had instances of misdemeanor. I don't actually think we've actually even seen anything that we can really fully describe as a fraudulent act. So all these things still falls within the realms of misdemeanors, and but the presidency has moved very quickly to address it. So do you think that Tinubu is taking on that space head on to try and sanitize the way things are being done in Nigeria? And do you think that there are certain elements, like the elements behind these sort of headlines, that are intent on bringing down the Tinubu administration? And those elements, of course, the obedience.
Oh goodness, one man. Thank you for that conclusion you just reached, for that question you just asking me about the obedience being the one that wants to bring it. So this is the same Agbado people that were saying that Obi will not get one vote from the core north, and well, he never did in the actual sense of it. He never really got that vote that would have probably made him win or get the kind of votes close to what Tinubu and maybe Atiku got. Now, and earlier on, you were talking about there were some element from the north. I mean, when you talk about, I'm sure it's not the element from the middle belt for the most part. The people we've been hearing their voices in the social media and in the newsprint are the core northerners, those Sharia part of North, the KKK state and other states that are called Sharia. That the people that we've been hearing stories from them that they've been fingering Tinubu as being somebody who has left them, who just want to do this, who wants to do that, who wants to make sure that they not collapse or whatever propaganda they're throwing out there against Tinubu. I mean, maybe whether either right or not, I don't want to say on that, but now certainly that is the obedience. So give a dog a bad name and so that you can hang it, right? So everything is the obedience. So the obedient now are the Northerners that never voted for Obi during the election. Come on, one man. Come on. Why must you? I mean, people like myself.
All right, but there just seems to be like an orchestrated move to bring down the
It looks like it.
yes, a
One
campaign
man, I
of
agree with you that
harmony.
I agree one fact with you that there's something going on. I think was it you or somebody said it. Someone said that. Why is it that it's whenever a southerner becomes president, they were talking about referring to even Obasanjo. Oh my goodness, that guy handled a lot of problems. Is it from his own ethnic group, his own tribe? Usually Yoruba, the Oduduwa versus the Jijo in Lagos when they were fighting there. Is it the different killings that was massacring and what was happening in the north, in Kaduna, in Plateau during his own time, over the Sharia matter and all that stuff? I mean, we saw all of this. You see, during Jonathan, when they bombed the UN and then Abuja was under some kind of a high alert when it comes to terrorist acts. So all those things, we saw it. Now, is it another replay we are seeing? But they could also argue that Bubutu also suffered a lot too, because his own clansmen also were just maroning all about, turning Nigeria into hellhole, and the Boko Haram and other insurgency were also every part of Nigeria. They could argue that point too. So why are we now saying Tinubu is because Tinubu? I mean, what I'm trying to say here is this, one man. We can argue the point that why is it that whenever it's southerner, but so far, even when Yadua was there, we saw the Niger Delta people too. They were fighting for their own resource control, whatever it was then. So we could argue this point, but the point is this, one man. You see, when somebody fails to come through the excellent way, that's my own opinion. If you fail to come through the right way, you get this kind of stuff going on. I tell you, see, Nigeria is a place whereby nothing good can come from it. You see, I've said it on this platform and maybe other platform. I said, look, woman, the best thing for us is to just split that country and go our way. Because you see, this problem will continue going on. Because if Tinubu lives here today, a Fulani, maybe a Fulani outside, I don't believe there's anything like Fulani outside.
Rational mind. Let me pause you for a moment.
Okay.
Warpeace is joining us, so let me settle him into this
Okay.
new format that we're. All right. So Warpeace joins the conversation, as I said. So Warpeace, as I was saying, we were discussing the Gbajabiamila 3 billion naira sign off to Better Edu, and a lot of people demanding then that he should be probed. But Rational Mind and I were just discussing what the basis of that probe would be. Because to all appearances, there's been no real infraction of anything. So, what's your take on that space, Warpace?
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, for me, I feel there's a fraction, there's something going on that is not clear. How can he be signing off 3 billion to somebody that somebody that has already been suspended? So it's not clear.
Sorry,
So
was it after the suspension that he signed it?
yes, the money came, I think, simultaneously. It's not like I think the money got released. We got information after, but I think the approval came simultaneously or during the probe. So, but how can he do that when? But
No. We have to establish if the money was signed off before she was suspended.
okay, but that I cannot really speak to. But
Woman,
from
to
Because
the contrary.
if the money was signed off before she was suspended, then that's just normal administrative stuff.
But
But
then,
then,
woman, do you know to the contrary that it was signed before she was suspended? Because I think
no, I don't know to the contrary, but
okay.
knowing that is important to whatever conclusions we're drawing. If
Yeah,
he
but then
signed it
because
off after she was suspended, then that's quite suspicious.
okay.
But if he signed it off long before she was suspended, then that's just due process.
yes, that's true. But that's the problem with with the Nigerian government. The system is not less transparent. Now we cannot have the fact or the truth or there's no transparency. Now the information got out is coming out by bit. The information got out like even as Better Edu has been suspended, there was 3 billion already released to her ministry. Now, when was it released? Is it before or after? That we cannot specify right now. So that's the problem. But the money was released and she has been suspended. Why the money still going to her ministry? That's the question Jamila have to answer. The money was not withheld. So Jamila is not, his hand is not clean. And that guy is a big problem to the administration. If this government must succeed, Jamila must change his ways or he must be dropped. I don't see how Tinubu is going to hit that $1 trillion economy.
No,
With
no,
Jamila,
no,
no.
no. I think you're making big leaps off the back of assumptions. The 3 billion naira was to work on the social register thing. So that's quite. There's nothing wrong. That's just due process, isn't it? So for them to release 3 billion dollar to naira to her to carry out a piece of work, then that's just a due. That's just the normal routine, you know. But if that money was released after she was suspended, then there's a question. If that money was already in the process of being released, if he had signed it off long before she was suspended and that money got released, there's still nothing wrong with that, because the money is not going to her, it is going to that department, and that piece of work is still going to be carried out irrespective of Better Edu being there or not. So what exactly is the problem?
See, to me, that office is subject to investigation right now. Even the new guy they appointed there is even facing a backlash. People are even calling for the guy to be to what? They should investigate the guy. That the guy is a co-host with Better Edu. That the co-host cannot take over the office. While that guy that is acting right now. So releasing money to that office right now is a no-no. So anything going to that office is supposed
So
to be on hold for now.
are you saying that all of the activities of the humanitarian ministry should be stopped because the minister is being investigated?
Not necessarily stop. There are other ministry that can do same job. There's a million ministry that can handle that job for now. But that better
Yes.
do office.
Are you saying the whole ministry should be suspended? The humanitarian ministry should be suspended?
Not suspended, but the money part should be suspended.
Hold on.
No. Do you not see the person being investigated is the minister? You cannot put the whole ministry in abeyance.
Hold on, one man. You see, was there any Ministry of Humanitarian? We never had it before. So how was the government giving out social assistance to the people, like what we're seeing now with Bubu government? I think it was the one who started this humanitarian crap that they call humanitarian. And so we've seen how it has panned out over the almost 4 years or 5 years or so that he created that ministry. And what are we saying? Or just all fraud, nothing to show in the economy, in the lives of the people that they said they were helping.
So are you saying that ministry should be scrapped?
Over 2 trillion naira. We don't even know what what kind of country will you have 2 trillion naira in the hands of your poor and needy people, and we cannot even see how that is reflecting their lives? So how have they been doing it previously before this idiot had to bring it, had to set up your so-called department, Ministry of Humanitarian, whatever crap they call it. So that's the one we should be asking. I'm not saying
but Tinubu is also asking that question. He set up a 6-man panel headed by Wale Edun to do a root and branch audit of that department.
But it's to do an audit, but it doesn't say maybe they should scrap it. So
no, they can't scrap it now. Is it a necessary department? Do you think?
Well, I don't think it's a necessary. Well, you see, it's a conduit for
humanitarian and disaster management.
Normally, there should be a department or a ministry that is responsible for people's welfare. But the way they are going about it, that's not the way. It should be in a federal system. That's not how it should be. This money should be going directly to the local government to help people within their locality. Not just
but that's a different course now. This is a social welfare intervention. So money is going to local government is a different purse.
No, you see, that's what you're saying. You see, woman, you see, I don't like trying to use US system here, because that's the system we're copying. So if we're using the system from here, and that's how it works for them here, and we're trying to do our own kind of hybrid that is not even an hybrid in the actual sense of it that is even working, that tells you that there's no way we can go about it and just revert back, whenever in that, even that, go to that very template that we borrowed it from. We cannot just make our own. I say we want to scrap it all together and try another kind of method of system of governance in that country. But what I'm trying to say is that you cannot create a behemoth of a department that everybody has to go there or ask for assistance. It doesn't work in a country like over 200 million. That's where people are 200 million. How can you do this? Localize it in each local government. Set up departments. Let money from the CBN or from the Treasury go directly into that. Set them up. Let them have a register, and they will use that register to be. I don't know. Let them set it up. However, they call experts. Call people who are policymakers. I mean, real policymakers who have lived abroad, who have seen it done in other systems. Not our Nigerian kind of stupid policymakers that don't. When they make policies, they also put some clause that will make it almost impossible for them to realize that thing. Because our Nigerian policymakers, I don't know what planet they are from, where they even learn their own education. Go meet people, Nigerians that are abroad, who are doing well in different areas. I mean, you call master strategist. He knows, he has the eyes to shop the best and the best. Go abroad, look for Nigerians that are there, that are working in all the system. If you have to consult them, let them come and introduce this kind of system. You cannot have a behemoth of a department whereby everybody has to run to. You have to, when the vice president was sharing money, was doing what was that money they were, what kind of crap is that? You see, woman, what I'm trying to tell you is this, that we are not going anywhere if we continue this kind of system of government we're creating in Nigeria. We need to go to the basics.
Rational mind.
Yeah.
This ministry is funny, That ministry is supposed to act like a federal body, which come into play when there's a national disaster or a federal need. And that office is supposed to have offices or personnel in every state. They're supposed to have like directors of, like you do have central bank in almost every state. is a humanitarian now. So every state needs a humanitarian. So it's federal and it's supposed to have a smaller unit. It's supposed to have a smaller.
What is? Let me say this to
No?
you. Here in America, we have Department of Human Services. Every state has a Department of Human Services. United States government has Department of Human Services. Each state has their own Department of Human Services. And so in every counties, even within some counties, you might see 2, 3, depending on how the population of that county, of that city, you might have 2, 3 Department of Human Services. Now, let me give you, what does the Department of Human Services do? I'll tell you, they help the needy. You can go there, collect card for, we call it EBT, to go get food. That same card, if you load up with money for you, you could go, depending on maybe you get some, the person gets some kind of challenges, maybe physical challenges. They'll make it whereby you can be able to collect money from bank or wherever where you go. You can walk into any store, put it into the ATM and collect money. And some is strictly food. They'll look at you, they'll look at your situation. You are working, how much are you making? I'm making so amount of money, okay. But what you need is just assistance to be able to complement what you will make in terms of food. Okay, we'll give you so amount of, you'll be getting more so amount of money into this card every week or every week, every month, you'll be getting so amount of food stamp. Then when you need money, whatever where you're working, take the money and put it towards other things you have to do. But we're only strictly going to give you food. But if it is money, so maybe they don't even have a job anyhow at all. They will look at it, okay, all right, we'll be giving you money. That card will give you, we'll load money, we'll load food for you there. You can pull out money, you can get, so you can do that. That is county-wise, local government-wise. Nobody's going to DC to go and ask for one person to come and give them a contract, to go and looking at some crappy social register. You see, man, we are not serious as a country. We are not serious. If they are really serious, bring this thing down. Not that one we're seeing that the vice president was going about sharing money. I mean, belittling. That is it. That is the same thing they're trying to do again in this. These are stuff you will be seeing better edu. You will go and organize some seminar, either true or false. You will just gather some people. They say they're sharing money, they're giving a rapper. Oh God, woman, we are not ready. This Department of Social Services here in America, they will train you, they will help you look for a job. They will put you on EBT, they will give you money for you to be going and getting money or getting food stamp. But they will tell you that so amount of time, they want you to go and look for a job. They will help you look for a job. They will invite people who are hiring, like companies that are hiring. They will invite them on seminar. People will come. You see, woman, we are not ready as a country. There are experts that can give them this idea. But I know people in Nigeria will not allow them because they know that is where they're getting their money to be stealing, to be funding their nonsense election so that they can bring them in and they can. You see, woman, we are not going anywhere from.
Yeah, but for now, that no money should go to that department. Not like the money that's going to that department before it gets to the people. Anyways, it's just going to
No, you can't say
private.
that. So there are countless stories of how that money. In fact, people have even come out. Countless people have come out to speak on how that department has changed their lives. So you can't say the money is not getting to the people. It is. It is getting to.
Who do you know? Who do you know that the government? Because who do you know? Who do you know?
I don't know anybody. How would I know anybody personally? But there's been countless. A lot of people come out and give
the same people
testimonies
they will
from
go and
all
gather
over
and they
the
will
country.
give them microphone.
Oh,
And
no, you can't be insisting on that all the time. These are
why are my brother, my sisters, my sisters, my brothers, my friends who are calling me on a daily basis asking for money? Why have they not gotten anything? I mean, what piece? Do you know anybody back in the Benin? We don't collect that kind of thing. Do you anybody where you know?
No.
I mean, what are we talking about? You go and get some select few and give them money and say they come and give them, put them on a camera, put microphone in their mouth and say, okay, you collected money. Is that woman here? Everybody can go and get social service, welfare from the department. It's not selected few. As long as you have the condition, the situation that allows you for that, to qualify for that. You see, woman, we can spin this thing. You are free to make any case for this criminals that we have there in leadership. Woman, we are not going anywhere if you continue abating and trying to say things and color things, make it look like they're doing something that is right when they're not doing what is right. I try to make case for them. Woman, we're not going anywhere. We are also responsible for the reason why that country is the way it is. You and I will live here. We see. Do you see your prime minister go about sharing money to Britons? or you see one your undersecretary or whatever you call it, your under whatever you call it, commissioner, go about sharing money. You have structures. Money come from a particular account. It goes down to the bureau, to the boroughs. It goes down to whatever counties, whatever you call them over. It goes. That's how it goes, and that money is being monitored because it's coming directly from the treasury, from the central bank. Any department, any sub department of human services within the local government in Nigeria, or however we call it, name we call it, they are tracing the money. They have a register, a roster. In fact, they can't even fake it because everybody has here. Everybody has we have NIN. Didn't you listen to what this idiot was talking about? What's his name? This terrorist sympathizer that was there, that was charge of our name. What was his name? Pantami. When these people that were, this lady, this family that were kidnapped, he was saying, why did they use the name to track them down? The idiots, when they were there, did they track them down? Did they track them down with anything? So, but I understand, he has a point. But then I know you just, but my point is this: why don't you use that name and attach it to everybody, give everybody a card? In fact, you are creating another employment for people that will print that card. Put a security feature on that card whereby nobody can do. They can't clone it. They can't duplicate it. This is what they can do. Look at the people who are really needy. Give them. You are even creating more money for our farmers. They'll be making this produce like yams, other things. They'll be supplying and they'll be getting. You see, we do not have people who are ready to really help our people. They just want to be there, just because they want to be president. They want to make their own money because it's their own turn now to make woman. We're not ready to go forward.
All right. Let me take you to another topic, but before I do that, did you hear of that the tunnel that they found under New York that led to a synagogue? Did you see that story?
Yeah, I think I saw it, but I've not. I saw the article, but I've not read it. So you want to tell me whatever it is?
No. I just wanted you to expand on it. I'm a bit sketchy as well on the details, so I wouldn't want to speak to that. But let me take you to this space. Rational Mind. You were speaking on it earlier, so we'll just watch a few moments of it, and then you can give us a running commentary. So let me pause. All right. So we go on to this one, and maybe we'll make this one the last one. This now to that space you were speaking of, Tinubu's speech at Hope Uzodinma's inauguration.
President of Nigeria. Your Excellency, our father, former President of the Federal Republic, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, the uncommon leader, former President, the Air President, National Chairman of our great party, the largest party.
There's always a lot of greetings on all of this. Half an hour of just greeting all these nonsense people. Let's just
see so many of you, because we have a progressive governor being given a second time here today. The governor of Imo State, the man who is very hardworking and industrious. I would say congratulations to both you, your wife, and particularly again, the deputy governor who has been sworn in. Congratulations. To all our royal dear fathers, for me to be here in Imo State. And to congratulate the entire people of Imo State that resonates.
I'm trying to see if he says anything meaningful, but I'm not really getting any meaning from anything that he's saying. It's just
you once
his
said it
speech
now. He's a
pattern
slow
has
speaker.
improved.
You once said it that he's a kind of a speaker of his own kind. So you have to allow him to just run through whatever.
All right, all right. Let's
But
see
if
if
you want to pause it, if you want to speak, I mean, if you want to fast forward it, I think
yeah, I'm trying to fast forward it to see where he actually gets into something meaty.
That it will have happened. Because your hope and our party and government is renewing the hope of our country. I'll show you.
These are just political rhetoric so far. He's not really said anything of substance, but
here today.
That's what everybody said now. They said it's just campaigning. It's
You
still
have
campaigning.
gotten a good and dependable Democrat. Hard-working peer of Han, a man who would think and do as you have experienced in the past. As he has taken the sacred oath of office, made further commitment to continue to do hard work, because that is the result of the reward you give him. Hard work for more work and good development.
There's been no report that Hope Uzodinma actually did anything in Imo State. I think really is yes, there was rigging, of course, but really it speaks to the quality of opposition that you have there. That you have Hope Uzodinma being returned as a governor, and it also speaks to the lack of politicking of the PDP, that they did not let Emeka Ehidioha run against him.
You want me to comment on that?
No, you can comment or we can listen on. Do you want to?
Yeah. So, woman, I want to agree with you that you see, I mean, sometimes when people like yourself talk and other people talk, I said, like Ogbeni, I'll tell yourself, Ogbeni. I mean, are you the one, Ogbeni, and other people? Are you the one to tell us how to become an opposition? We will be opposition in our own way. You are not in the in government, and you're telling us that. I mean, you're a party in government, and you're telling us how to become an opposition. We will become opposition in any way we deem fit. So you telling us that there's no true opposition? No, it's because APC and any government, any party that gets there, were like when the PDP holds sway at some point, they were just winning. They will rig too, and like when Obasanjo was there, they were all rigging. They always win because they have what they call the federal might. So when they bring that in, I said maybe they're not really interested in wanting to win the state, or maybe by some kind of intervention, they could not do that. Like maybe as in the case of maybe Edo State, when APC was trying everything when Shomole was there, trying to make sure that PDP or whatever party that the incumbent president run to then would not win. So, and maybe because Bubu did not interfere, because I know if Bubu wasn't running to interfere, maybe that would have gone in favor of Shomole, because Shomole was already in the black book of Bubu there. That was why Bubu did not do anything. You know, so my point is that you can fault the opposition because they're not really acting as an opposition. No, the issue is the way the Nigerian politics plays, that it is winner take it all. He wins it all. I mean, it just, and whoever becomes a winner, it becomes some kind of like how do I say? They have absolute power to control whatever. That's a system that does not work. Why should somebody in opposition, in power, be the one calling the shots? As in, the pocket the whole commissioner of election. The police is in the under their command. Everything's But why wouldn't they win the election? Why wouldn't they win? So are you telling me that they have opposition? Well, because he has the means to violence, he controls it. His party controls it. He brought all of them. Did they hear when he was closing down hotels, telling hotel people not to allow any other people to come, and he has bought the whole hotel that nobody should come, nobody should be allowed to come and lodge in the hotel during that time of the election. What kind of a sane society would they do such a thing? It's because his party is in power. Nobody's going to call him to question. Who's going to even dare to call him when his party is the president is a member of his party? So what are you talking about, one man? So for me, I don't think that's to be a fact that there's no real opposition. There are oppositions, but the point is the Nigerian kind of politics is so dirty, it's so nasty, it's so toxic that whoever is in power gets the power absolutely. One man. That's how I would say.
All right. So I find this speech somewhat tedious. So let me just take you to one last space, and then maybe we'll just wrap it up there. Let me take you to this space. So this is a much missed voice within the Nigerian political space. We're talking about your former vice president, Yemi Osinbajo. So now there was this book launch, book written by what's that? Femi Adesina. So a book written by Femi Adesina to chronicle his to do the Buhari years essentially. So now this is the book launch, of course, and the great and the good there, including the former vice president. So this speech by Osinbajo, which I suspect you may have heard already, but let's listen to it together and see this. If there's one thing about Yemi Osinbajo, it's a good orator. Let's listen to this.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Those words must have been painful for him, rational mind. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal that would have been painful for him to say.
Maybe.
Okay, let's listen on.
GCFR, Excellency, the immediate past President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, Your Excellency, the former head of state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Yakubu Gowon, the President of the Senate.
Did you note that distinction there, rational mind? Your Excellency, the current president, Your Excellency, the former president, and Your Excellency, the former head of state. So there's that distinction then between, of course, him being a military man.
They were not president, they were just military head of state.
Yeah, so that only thing that it was Babangida, wasn't it? That.
Yeah, no, I think Gowon. That was Gowon.
No, it was Babangida that brought in president.
Yeah, that started using the word. Yeah, it was Babangida that started trying to use the word president.
Yeah. All right, let's carry on.
I'm the Speaker, the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly, Your Excellencies, Governors present, Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by congratulating my dear brother Femi Adesina for writing this book, Working with Buhari, Reflections of a Special Advisor, Media and Publicity. There have been quite a few books already written about President Buhari, and they cover a lot of detail, a lot of it historical, and of course several about his numerous achievements since he first came into office in 1983. But the reason why this personal account will be interesting for those who read it, and I have had the particular good fortune of having read it before today. The reason why this is particularly interesting is because even after 8 years of being president, President Buhari, and so many books written, President Buhari still remains an enigma to many Nigerians who want to understand who really is President Buhari. Not the public persona, but who is he as...
You know, Rational Mind, what is said there, that after 8 years of Buhari, if we really want to talk about the Nigerian interaction with Buhari, we're talking about what, over 30 years now of public consciousness about this guy, when he has always been within the Nigerian, but it still remains an enigma. Nobody still really knows who he is.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with. Well, I agree with that statement to some extent. But it's just this sycophancy, just for me, it's just insane for me. Like, I mean, we know Nigerians. We start. Who is this guy? Because even when he was there, he was just like a ghost. We rarely see him talk. Only when he wants to talk. I mean, every time he's in London. I mean, you see. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that statement to some extent, but not to the level of this sycophancy and trying to eulogize and trying to make it look as if he's a great person. Let's just go on and watch. Let's just go on and watch.
All right.
As a person. And I think Femi Adesina has done a great job, especially in covering an aspect of the former president that is not well known, which is his sense of humor, his ability to tell a good joke and to take a good joke, his ability to laugh at himself. I have a long repertoire of Buhari jokes, and Femi has helped me to add a few more. And one day soon, we will launch a book, this time not working with Buhari, but laughing with Buhari. But permit me to share a few anecdotes. Femi Adesina writes that on the day that the then President Buhari, this was his first day in office at the villa, he requested him to meet with journalists accredited to the villa in the State House Press Gallery. And the president came in, he shook hands with them, with all the journalists, and as they introduced themselves, he had something to say to each of them. Then when Juliana Taiwo Obalonye introduced herself as representing the Sun newspapers, the president said, warn your cartoonist. My chin is not as long as he usually makes it. Sometime in 2019, I complained to him very bitterly about a libelous comment that was made against me, and that I wanted to give him notice that I would be suing those who had libeled me. And he said to me in his usual style, Professor, don't let these people bother you. Do you know what they did to me recently? They actually printed an invitation card that I was going to get married. on a Friday at the National Mosque. He said, and you won't believe Nigerians, there were thousands of them waiting for me at the National, waiting for me to come and get married. And to tell you that President Buhari was always ready to laugh at himself. Of course, we've heard already from General IBM Haruna, retired, of how, when he was being criticized about his journeys and all that. But the second part of that story is that Femi also additionally tells the story of how, following his overseas trips, which were criticized, by the press, in an opinion piece in a newspaper criticizing his travels abroad, the headline was, when will President Buhari visit Nigeria? End of quote. And the president laughed and laughed. I remember sometime in 2016, just before he went on his medical vacation, I told him I wanted to visit the oil-producing communities in the Delta, and that I thought dialogue with the militants in the wake of the destruction of pipelines and other assets was a good idea. And he told me the experiences of the then Minister of Youth and Sports, Dalong, who had visited the Delta some time back. But while agreeing with me that it was a good idea, And just as I was getting up to leave, he said with that mischievous glint in his eye, "Professor, don't be the first vice president to be kidnapped."
All right. We've got Dewale joining us just as we're about to wrap it up. Dewale, good to see you. Rational Mind and I, we've just been joshing
Can you
around
hear
for.
me?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you. I said
Yeah.
Rational Mind and I we've just been joshing around for the last hour and a half. We were just about
Adewale,
to wrap
báwo
it
ni
up.
o?
Nothing much. Happy all of the above. Fool.
Ṣé windstorm yìí, ṣé this storm yìí ṣé kò dọ́dọ̀ yín lọ́hùn?
Oh, they be there, but it's just we're able to weather it. We have one more day, and that's it. We'll be fine by tomorrow.
Wow. Àwọn mi bàbá kan pound wa ni.
Ah,
We're being pounded here. And there's some even still falling
wow.
right now. I have to come home very quickly before it starts, before you meet me on the road.
I didn't even go to work today. I stay at home. Though I telework. I become nothing quick. Just like
Working
with
from home, sort of.
yeah, sort of, yeah.
But is it one of those hurricane, something or the
No,
other?
it's just an extreme, unnecessary, extreme weather that it's unusual in Texas um, to have a very,
America
very
is
cold
quite a
weather.
harsh landscape, isn't it? That's America. It's quite a
Well, it depends on where you
susceptible
live. It
to
just
so many phenomenons.
I mean, if you know Texas very well, you realize it's not like other states that are cold. It's warm in Texas, like a Nigerian weather, but when it's cold, it's cold. So when it's
All
cold,
right.
it's cold.
We were just about to wrap it up when you came in. We were listening to Oshibajo. Okay, let's listen to him just for a few more minutes, and then we wrap it up. This is Oshibajo eulogizing about Buhari at a book launch written by Femi Adesina.
There's a story that the president likes to tell, and it is about the German century. And Femi Adesina recounts that story in the book. And President Buhari told that story again when the peace committee headed by General Abdusalam Abubakar visited him. And also in that team were the Sultan of Sokoto and Bishop Hassan Kuka. They had come to appeal to him and that the anti-corruption war should be waged within the ambit of the rule of law. The president listened patiently and then responded, "In the military, there used to be a joke about the German sentry." And he then explained that when a sentry is on duty at night, an ordinary sentry, and he hears any movement in the dark, he would back out. Who goes there? Advance to be recognized, with his gun ready. He will then interrogate the person, and if he tells an acceptable story, he waves the person on. But the German sentry is different. When he hears a movement in the dark, he immediately lets out a volley of shots, and then he shouts, "Who went there?" Of course. Of course, there will be absolute silence because he's already killed the person. The president then explained to his audience that when he came as a military ruler, he was like the German sentry. I packed all the people who were suspected of corruption and kept them in protective custody. And I told them that they were corrupt until they could prove themselves innocent. But now, under a democratic setting, I see corrupt people going around in Rolls-Royce cars, but they remain innocent until I can prove them guilty. Femi Adesina writes that on one occasion, President Buhari sent him to represent him at a book launch. And when he asked him, "So how much should I donate on your behalf?" President Buhari said, give them a big smile and tell them that that is what I sent. I hope on behalf of the authors today that those of you here will come with more than a big smile. Congratulations again, my brother Femi Adesina, and congratulations to President Buhari for yet another literary celebration of your intriguing and significant life and times. Thank you all very much.
In terms of oratory, very little, very few they surpass Yemi Oshibanjo. Is a wordsmith. It knows how to craft language. Rational mind. All right, they want come in.
I'm just trying to. Sorry, I'm sorry.
So,
I'm just trying to. My phone is going to die too. And I want woman. In conclusion, for me, because my phone is just 1%. Well, I'm charging it, but I don't know if
yeah. Give us a snapshot. I'm going to shut it in a moment anyway.
Right,
but give us a
real quick. You see, I don't know what to make of this this whole book launch of just
It's just really a celebration of Buhari's times.
Exactly.
Not that there's anything to celebrate.
So I don't know what it is they're talking about. For me, I don't think you're just trying to whitewash the guy, make his the failure of a person that he has been to look like some kind of somebody that should be celebrated in some sort of ways. For me, history will prove itself. We have this is the one that followed him, Tinubu, when his NSA minister, NSA advisor was saying that they almost they've crippled the country. They left actually nothing there in the covers of the treasury. They looted everything. So what is the success there if they've looted everything? And now even the CBN governor who manages Nigerian treasury, so to speak, is also in EFCC nets. And this late guy worked under him. And I'm sure most of the things that he did would not have been without Buhari's knowledge. At least those people who are around Buhari, who are probably within his inner circle. So why would the guy alone be the one suffering for that? And he's there being eulogized, being praised to the high heavens like he has turned Nigeria around. I mean, why would Tinubu be complaining that Nigeria is a mess, that he messed virtually nothing there in the treasury, and that he inherited, like he said, even he said it in one of his, I don't know, maybe at Uzodima's, or maybe at the same place. He said, he knows when I was elected, when I said I was going to run for this office, I know I'm going to run also for the same problem that my predecessor would leave for me. So what is the thing about Buhari that we're eulogizing here, that we're praising? People like Femi Adesina, they're just sycophants that they're just house lickers of crap. Like, maybe not use the word. I mean, it's just Nigeria. I don't know who do this to us. We are not free thinkers anymore like we used to be. We're not this kind of people that we don't mind. We'll talk to you. We'll tell you the truth. We don't care which horse is God. But this level of sycophancy that nobody wants to like tell the other person the truth, tell them when they are failing. You want to eulogize them, you want to praise them, you want to make them look like they're some kind of hero when they are just villain. Well, man, I don't know. That's why I'm saying to you, I just say in conclusion, we're not ready to build a country. And I don't think we're going to go anywhere. All I'm just looking for, I'm just looking for a disintegration of that country right now. That's what I'm looking for. Nigeria is hopeless. Nigeria is hopeless. With the current system that we're running, with this fraudulent constitution, I don't see anywhere Nigeria is going. We're not going anywhere. That country is designed for these people. The police is under their command. The police, all of them, they have police attached to themselves. Why the common man in the street is being kidnapped, is being killed, and they just sit down there and they're all laughing like there's nothing. I bet if it's Buhari's son that was kidnapped, or one of his one of his daughter, or it was Tinubu's son that was kidnapped, or one of his daughters. I mean, would they be all be sitting here to tell us that you and I, who are the common man, we do not matter to these idiots? All they care about is they themselves, just to be there in power, just to have their name in the history of that annals of that country. That one time there was a guy called Shetima, or called Tinubu, who became president. That's all they care about, and make money for themselves and their grandchildren that will come after them. Well, we shall see if those kids coming after them, they will live to eat those money. We shall see. Time will tell, one man. I leave it at that.
Oh, all right, brilliant. Dewade, a few words from you, and then I think I'll shut it down. What on rational mind? An hour and a half, just you and I.
Hmm.
Dewade.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all
I
right.
hope you can hear me. Okay,
We can hear you
great.
clearly.
Yeah, I've been inundated with some other abuse, family stuff. So, our democracy is growing, and it's growing at a rate that, the fact that we have people criticizing the government shows that one thing that we're growing. It's not uncommon to have a member of an administration, writing a book or giving account of what actually transpired during the administration. Uh, I'll I'll be one of those who will be very, very, eager to read the book by the man himself, the president. But no other person that could give such account other than the spokesperson, who is more or less the mouthpiece of the big masquerade himself. And when you have somebody in the likes of additional giving account, it's more or less like when the president himself giving account. Of course, um, you wouldn't expect the spokesperson to criticize the administration that he served and he served diligently, but only to highlight some of the areas that he believed that the administration must have done exceptionally well. So for that occasion, um, I think that was what brought about the Muhammadu Buhari and all that. This book launching. But what I found really amazing is that we managed to bring the past president and his vice and the current president. And I tell you, if Shetima were to be in Nigeria, he too would have attended that meeting. But nevertheless, the speaker was there. And, and the past head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, too, was in attendance. And just like Additional said in his interview on Channels TV, that every member of the cabinet were also present during that book launching. So it speaks well about how he's able to, carry other, his cabinet member along, and the way how they actually, respect him. Um, for his account of what he did while he was in office, I think we leave that for posterity to judge. Uh, to him, he believes he has done exceptionally well according to his conscience. He believes he has done his own within his own capability or capacity as a president. But of course, there's always room for uh, improvement. That atmosphere was devoid of any political uh, differences, devoid of any uh, issues that anyone might have personally against each other. There was an atmosphere to catch up, atmosphere to laugh about some of the things that, those moments that people hardly take account of during uh, service to the country. So the likes of the Vice President Shibajo was there, you know, joking about the things that have been said within the office. It's just to tell you the kind of, that kind of atmosphere. And it's a good thing because, yes, the book itself, I think it has a two volumes. But to me, Buhari said in the book, I mean, during the launching that could have that he didn't know that Emefiele was running for president, which I found a little bit odd because it wasn't a hidden thing when vehicles were branded in his name and all that, but he chose to look the other way. Yeah. This is politics. I mean, this is you have to be diplomatic about what you say in the public as well. So, but to me, it's just an atmosphere that brings people together, even though they might have their differences. But I think by and large, Tinubu is a politician that I think he respects Buhari a lot. He's trying to, even as an older person, he give him his respect. There was a video that I saw online that I mean, Tinubu was on his way and Buhari was walking behind him, and he had to wait for him to catch up so they can both walk into the venue, which I found very, very uh, cool. I mean, not very many would do that. You can't think of something like that happening between Wiki and Fubara of this world, you know. So it was an atmosphere that was called for, and I think Rashidama was saying earlier about um, what happens in was it Abuja, the kidnapping and the bad explosions and all that. I get it. I think we are immune to some of these happenings, and you know, beginning to how many can we continue to know? If that is the case, Nigerians will be waking up every day. All we'll be doing is just to mourn. But that doesn't say that the government are not working around the clock, but it's just that some of the things that we blame our government for are something that the state could as well prevent. But because of some of the things that still yet to be done, because I would not um, exonerate government, absorb them when they need to be. They drop the ball. Things should be prevented. But Nigerians, it seems I don't know where they stand in this. They also need has a lot role to play as well because they also need to be vigilant in their surroundings. Something doesn't seem right, then you know you need to speak up. So, but we can't continue to wake up every day morning. We have to be. America is to borrow. They still have mass shooting, gun issues, and they will tell you, government will tell you they're working on it, to try to, you know, enact a gun law that will prevent gun getting into the wrong hand, or some weapons should be prohibited in the first place. So a lot of time, society is always like that. You react to some things, so you get proactive about making sure that it continuously talking about it. So the government can't continue to wake up every day and all they do is just to mourn. Things will happen. Sometimes you can't stop it, you can't prevent it. So, but I think the government also need to look more. Not just. I mean, you can't say because something happened, the book shouldn't be launched. They're now private citizens in the first place. So I'm talking about the likes of Buhari and addition and every other dignitary there, apart from the girl, I mean, Tinubu and his people. So you can't stop it. Even Aisha Buhari was there. I mean, it's just what it is, one man.
All right. All right. Thank you, Dewale. So we wrap it up here. An hour 40 minutes. I actually thought it was going to be 30 minutes something, but the conversation as about whenever you guys turn up is non-stop. So I'm experimenting with this. I'll see how it goes, and then it might well be something
Okay.
that we'll be doing for the future. Just a closed session with a select panel so that people can actually get to speak. So we'll see how this goes. It's just an experimentation. We'll put it out there, see how it goes. So thank you, Diwali. Thank you, Rational Mind.
Thank you,
Now
woman.
your
Thank you.
fans too, your fans, if they don't get to contribute, they will find you a woman.
Don't
They
worry,
will.
the live streaming are still there. Oh, this is just you have to
Okay.
continuously innovate. So this is
Yeah.
I'm trialing a concept.
Okay. Cool.
So how it goes, we'll see how it pans out. But
Okay.
thank you, gentlemen. I'll call on you again, no doubt.
All right. No problem.
All right, shake.
All righty.
All right, woman.
I
See